Hi friends, welcome to episode 18 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadira Tani. I am coming to you today from my home in Central Florida on the other side of Hurricane Irma. I will talk more about that later. But yeah, this is episode 18. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me. If you're a returning viewer, hi, welcome back. What else can I tell you? I've got a little bit of craftiness today. Um, there's a giveaway winner that we're going to be choosing at the end of the episode. So if you entered, stick around. It could be you. Um, and yeah, some chit chat, some plans. You know the deal. So I was going to talk about Hurricane Irma and my experience at the end, but I kind of want to just talk about it now. Um, Hurricane Irma came through our area a week ago, and today's today is Sunday, September 16th, and Hurricane Irma hit our area Sunday night last week, and it came through at nighttime. So that was low-key terrifying, high-key terrifying. this this was only my second hurricane. The first one I experienced was Hurricane Matthew last year, and that wasn't even really that intense. So I think the biggest thing with Hurricane Irma for me was like the build up to it, because I work in a call center, and we didn't, like, they hadn't made a decision to close our center until Friday, like the Friday before the hurricane came. Like, I want to say, I don't remember when it made landfall. I think it made landfall in South Florida on Saturday, and they made the decision to close our call center Friday morning. So I was freaking out, like, just super anxious over the whole thing. Like, I go so far, like, left field sometimes with my anxiety and worries that, no joke, Friday, I think it was Friday morning. It was either Friday morning or Thursday evening before I got off work. I was thinking, oh my goodness, everything is gonna flood and I'm gonna get trapped in my car trying to drive home because the call center was open and I had to go to work. And I'm gonna have to sit on the top of my car in a flooded overpass because I can't get home. Now, aside from the fact that that sounds completely, like, dramatic, I don't drive through any overpasses to get to work. So I don't know how I had this picture of me, like, huddled on top of my car in, like, one of those tunnel, like, underpass things. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. But, anxious Kalisha, who knows? Who knows what goes through her head? So they let us out Friday afternoon, and I got home. I drove through so many random, like, rain, sun, rain, sun, rain, sun, cloudy, rain, sun, cloudy, sunny, rain. Like, it was, the weather didn't know what it was doing. The clouds were, like, moving, like, super fast. It was stressful. But everybody got home, safely. There wasn't any, like, anything happened, like, pre-hurricane or whatever. We had enough food and water and things. We didn't have enough hurricane snacks. Like, you know how sometimes you just want to eat, like, a little Debbie cake? I didn't have any little Debbie cakes. I was ill prepared. Had that food and water though. But yeah, so I spoke to my family. All of my family is up in Delaware. And they were all like, are you evacuating? Are you evacuating? We were not in a mandatory evacuation zone, so we stayed home. Um, and even if we had like wanted to evacuate, gas stations were running out of gas. Um, the traffic to get out of the state was horrendous. Like, I was hearing stories of people being stuck in traffic for hours and 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 hours to get out of the state. Um, and then, as the hurricane kept moving, it was shifting directions and things like that, and it got to the point where you were seeing the size of the storm compared to the size of the state, and the storm pretty much swallowed the state. So it wasn't even like, oh, I'll just go to the other side of Florida and be fine. Like, people were leaving Orlando and going to Tampa, and then the eye of the hurricane shifted heading that way. So I was just like, if you're not going to get like flash flooded out, you might just want to hunker down. So that's what we ended up doing. Like, just hunkering down on a pallet in the hallway. Um, the dogs were pretty good. Kiva was, she's such an old lady, y'all. Like, she had this expression on her face like, well, if it's my time to go to that big doggy bowl in the sky, it's my time. Like, she was just, and Tootie was shaking. Like, she was so scared. Poor blessed little heart. She's inside barking. But our power went out Sunday night, um, and it stayed out until this past Friday night. Yeah. So we were out of power that whole time. Um, it got a little rough, especially in the Florida heat. Like, I didn't think about how hot and muggy it gets in Florida. And to not have power for that long time, like, pretty much, everything in our refrigerator went. Um, our freezer stayed cool. We were able to get ice from one of our friends who, like, froze a bazillion bags, like Ziploc bags of water, but then they never lost power. So we got those and put them in the freezer, so we were able to keep the freezer cool or cold enough to preserve that food. Um, but yeah, guys, I was only out of work for Monday. Yeah, for Monday. Tuesday, our office is open back up, so I was back to work Tuesday. Um, it was a little rough. I was super nervous that I wasn't going to wake up on time for work since we didn't have any power. Um, Cold baths. I got to one point where I was like, you know what, I'm not taking a cold bath. I had like a little pot, like one of those metal pie tins. I put some water in there and I put it over some tea lights. It took me an hour and a half, but I had warm water. um, yeah. But our power came back on this past Friday. I was so excited about it. I just wanted to go around and turn things on and off. Um, but yeah, we didn't have any damage to the house, so that was good. Um, in the backyard, we have these really, really tall trees, and I was really worried that, a branch would fall off and get flung into the house or something like that, especially since I think Sunday night we were under a tornado watch. Yeah, a tornado watch? Warning. Whichever one it is that there is a confirmed tornado, we were under that. So the winds were crazy. It felt like the house was being shaken. With all the power out, it was pitch black. And I felt like it was the same darkness if I had my eyes closed as I had my eyes open. And the winds were howling. And it was just really, really like nerve-wracking. So stress knitting, definitely a thing. Super excited that I can knit without being able to see what I'm doing for real. Because we were able to put like a flashlight in the middle of the room and have it light the room. you know, enough to be able to see, but definitely not enough to be able to like knit if you're knitting by light. So I'm glad that I could just knit and not look, because my hurricane socks, y'all, they were a lifesaver. So yeah, we just had a whole bunch of branches down, stuff like that. Um, no bad damage. There's still a lot of branches that are hanging down from the trees that need to be cut. Um, yeah, there's a lot of tree trimming that needs to happen in the backyard here, but I am glad to say all of our family came through safe. We didn't have any um, like injuries or anything like that. My in-laws had a little bit of roof damage, I think, so they're looking into replacing their roof, um, or at least getting it fixed. But yeah, I'm so glad that the hurricane, by the time it got to us, wasn't as strong as it would have been. But you know, just like I recently watched Hannah over at the Cozy Crochet, Cozy Cozy Cottage Crochet. I always mix up the name, but she was saying that, you know, while on one hand she's grateful that the storm wasn't as strong as it was predicting to be, or that it was predicted to be, by the time it got to us. The reason that it wasn't so strong was because the strongest bit of it hit elsewhere. A lot of our church members here are from the islands. We have a lot of friends who have family in the islands, and it just, seeing the devastation that the hurricane caused down there is just, you know. But yeah, here's to being on the other side of Hurricane Irma. Okay, so all that being said, let's let's take a look at some knitty stuff and some yarny stuff. So like I was saying earlier, stress knitting was definitely a thing. Um, so I have 3 finished objects to show you. 2 of them were finished before the hurricane, and one of them was finished just after. Yeah. The first I want to show you was a half object, I think, last time, and it is my pair of forest light socks. Now, this is a pair. So this is yarn that I dyed myself like a long time ago, and I was mentioning, yeah, it was a half object. I was mentioning that the way that I had dyed the yarn, it caused it to go from dark to super light. And this is how light it went. Look at that. So this was the outside of the ball, and this was the inside. So look at that. I love them though. I love the colors. Um, yeah. So this pair of socks I knit on, I think there's 60 stitches, and yeah, I did something with the heel. I don't remember. I think I increased for the heel, like increased on the back to make the heel a bit deeper, and then decrease them out. And then just a rounded toe, my regular rounded toe. 2x2, 2x2 ribbed, that's the word. 2x2 ribbed cuff, German twisted cast on, 60 stitches, 2.25 millimeter needle, uh, short row wrap and teal, short row wrap and turn heel. Ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da! And no, nothing woven in. Oh, that was the other thing with these. All right, so we'll show you this way. All right, that's the heel lined up. You see that? I knit this sock 5 rows longer for some reason. I don't know. And I did not realize it until I had finished the sock and kitchenered it. And I was like, do I feel like ripping this out? No. So one of my socks is longer than the other, and I don't care. So this was pair 11 for my box of socks. And those are done. My next finished object is this baby. This is my crochet pie shawl. The design does not have a name, but I love it. I hope you can see everything because I'm looking through the little crochet holes. So this yarn here was stash yarn, and last episode I was talking about how I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough of it to finish the shawl, which I did not. So I went to find a comparable yarn, which the closest I could get to the type of yarn, like the ply, the texture, and the look, and like the thickness, was Karen's Simply Soft. It's not an exact match, but it was as close as I could get. I could not match the color, so I decided to go with this other green. You can't, I don't think you can see the difference, but you can kind of see it there. See, that's the darker green, lighter, dark, light. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. So the reason that I went with that was because I was like, okay, well, obviously I'm gonna have to do like a contrast, and none of the other colors that I was seeing in the store really spoke to me. So I decided to go with the green, and then I striped it on the last round and then did the border in the darker green. I'm definitely going to make this again in a yarn that I have enough of a one color. Either that, or I will intentionally change the colors. Like maybe just do the inside bit in one color, and then the solid blocks in the contrast color, and then the lace, and then the edging. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. It's all done. All my ends are woven in. I took pictures of it yesterday. And this, oh, the sun went behind the clouds, so you can see the difference very well. This is for the Pie Shawl Along that Jade of So Perfect Pearls is hosting. So I gotta get this posted over there. I am super proud of it, especially because when I showed it to you last episode, I had this, come on hands, this bit of lace right here, these large circles, were way bigger than that. And so I had made the large circles and then crocheted maybe a couple rows more, and it didn't look right. So I ended up ripping all of that back, recalculating, and redoing it. And I love how it's come out. I do want to, there's a little bit more work that I need to do before I write it up as a pattern, and it's basically on the count for the shell stitch edging, because when I finished the shell stitch edging, I have one extra stitch right there, which it doesn't, like, you can't really tell. I mean, you can if you look for it, but I don't like that. Like, I want everything to work out right. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I have a little bit more to play around with that, with the numbers and whatnot. But I'm super proud of it. I love it. It is warm as all get out. So I will only be able to wear this like in places where I know there's going to be a lot of air conditioning, and that I'm like know that I'm going to be cold. because just holding it like this, my whole arm is like getting sweaty. So we're gonna put that down. Yay! It also needs a name. It doesn't have a name. Any suggestions? Um, yeah, there isn't anything else I wanted to share about that one. It's done. I'm glad. Woo woo. The last finished object are my hurricane socks, and these are sock pair number 12 for my box of socks. And I'm so proud of myself, y'all. Like, I knit 12 pairs of socks for myself this year. Ta-da! So these are my hurricane handmade socks. They also don't have a name. This is another yarn that I dyed myself. Oh, this is the yarn that I dyed, that I showed with the yarn that I dyed with my husband that day. This was the one that I dyed by myself. I did not really like it in the hank, like fresh out the dye. I didn't really like how it looked, but when I balled it up, I was like, okay. But then when I knit it, I was like, I really enjoy this. Like, this really makes me smile. So the purple here is the purple Deborah Norval Serenity sock. Yeah, yeah. And then this was the natural color, the white Serenity sock, and I use that whenever I want to dye. Yeah, so same as usual, German twisted cast on, 2x2 cuff, leg, short row, wrap and turn heel, foot, and a rounded toe. Now, the thing I did with these that was different was I am noticing that when I do my wrap and turn heels, which I love because they're so fast, this portion of the foot right here, like I guess this is the instep, I think, is super tight, and it gets like really stretched out when I put the socks on. So I figured, okay, well, I need more stitches along this area. So what I did was, if you can hear the dogs, they're barking at something inside. Whatever. Maybe somebody's home. I increased. Yeah. Oh, excuse my nails. I was dyeing again, dyeing yarn, and the gloves that I had were trash juice. And I got black dye in my fingers. Hooray! So I'm gonna cut off my nails and paint them. Anyway, so I increased here. The last 10 rows I did a knit front to back increase every other row, and then I worked the heel. So the heel is worked over 30 stitches, and then here, if I did, I think I have 10 extra stitches, so there's like 40 stitches across the instep, and then after I finished the heel, I then decreased them back out and then went back down the heel. So they are so far the best fitting socks that I've made for myself. I do want to keep working on this idea and maybe figure out a way to maybe, instead of increasing, because all the increases and decreases I did on the front needle, maybe I should put them on the back needle. I don't know. There's still some brainstorming that I need to do to make sure that it works the way I want it to. But I really like this. So these are my Hurricane handmade socks. I knit these in a week. I started them on the 6th. I finished them on the 13th. And I have never really, like, I understand the concept of stress knitting and how like knitting or crochet or anything like that can be a relaxing, endeavor, keeps you calm and stuff like that. but I can attest to the wonder that is stress knitting. Like when when the power had gone out and the like the storm was like raging outside and the wind and the rain were going sideways, I my little fingers were flying. They were flying. And that is probably why my elbows are hurting right now, because I'm pretty certain that I stress knit myself into an injury. So these are done. My Hurricane handmade socks. Yeah. So those are all of my finished objects. I have one work in progress, I think. Yeah, I only have one. And that is my second Miette sweater. Miette is a pattern by Andy Satterlund. Um, Super cool. I knit this pattern before, um, and I love the sweater. So I decided to knit it again because Susan from, I point over there like she's over there. Susan from the Knit Lib podcast is hosting a cropped top cow, and it can be for anything cropped: sweater, shirt, top, what have you. Cropped top cow. And Hannah of the Crafty Chat podcast and Meg of That With Girl Sits and Knits are co-hosting a vintage sweater along. So Miette is a cropped vintage style sweater. So now I'm gonna, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this. And I did a video, like a little video clip of it, because guys, this yarn glows. Not joking. Shield your eyes. Shield your eyes. So I've gotten to, good Lord, that's bright. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared to wear this, but I'm gonna do it anyway because what I don't even understand this color. So this has been lovingly dubbed my radioactive gem sweater, or no, my radioactive gem cardi. And yeah, so Miette features the lace pattern down the neckline, and it will go alongside the button band, and then it has one that goes around the waistband. So I am to the point where I am beginning the lace band that goes around the button band, or the button band, the waistband at the bottom. So I'll knit that lace and then the waistband, and then the body will be done. And then I knit the sleeves and the button band, and the whole sweater is done. So I was knitting this thing in the sunlight the other day, and when I looked away from it, everything had like a green tinge to it. Like my eyes were trying to color correct the pink. And it was just like, no, we can't handle this. We can't handle this. Tone it down, tone it down. And then when I looked up, everything else was like green. So yeah, this has been a very fun knit just because of that color. I'm gonna blind people, y'all. I'm not gonna be able to like walk in traffic with this. Like I can't walk down the street with this because I'm pretty sure that somebody will get in a car accident, because like the sun just bounces off of this into your eyeballs. But yeah, so this is my work in progress. After I finished my socks, I have been knitting on this baby. Let me put this away before it burns out your retinas. Yeah, that is my only work in progress. It's coming along really nicely. I will say I had to, seriously? I will say I had to cast on, I think, 2 or 3 times because I kept messing up. I started this after 10 o'clock at night. I should have known better. I didn't. What are you gonna do? So that's the only thing I have going. That was a very short work in progress section. Next, I will talk about some upcoming projects. Well, I had kind of split the next couple bullet points on my show notes into upcoming upcoming projects, what alongs that I wanted to participate in, and stash acquisitions, but they kind of all just mix up. So here's some other stuff I'm going to talk about. The next project that I want to be casting on, and I just want you guys to know how much I really care about showing you things in their original state, because I have had this yarn in my crafty little fingers since Labor Day. So since September 4th, I have had this yarn, and I have not caked it up because I wanted to show it to you all nice and hanged and beautiful. Dun, dun, dun! Yay! So I got this yarn. This is Heritage Wave, or Cascade Heritage Wave yarn. I want to say the colorway was like Holidays or something like that. It's color 513. Y'all, I'm sorry about these bugs. They are really just singing today. Yeah. So I got this yarn at Four Pearls Yarn Shop in Winter Haven, Florida. I went there on Labor Day when I was off from work, and it is a really nice yarn shop. I did a Quirky Monday gallivanting like vlog type video. So if you haven't seen that, it is the video posted right before this one. But yeah, I got this yarn, and I also got this yarn, which is Happy Fuzzy yarn in the Cory sock base. So this is Corriedale, 75% superwash Corriedale wool and 25% nylon. I've never used Corriedale. I've never touched Corriedale. So when I saw that, and it was on like clearance, so I was like, it's for me. So I'll be making some socks out of these, or out of this. Yeah. I'll be making socks out of this. Let the people see you in all your glory. So this is being cast on for Amy of the Stranded podcast. She's hosting a festive sock-along. These are going to be my Christmas socks, and I currently have yarn on the stove cooling, which is why my fingers are all grubby. But I am making, or I want to knit a pair of Kwanzaa socks in red, black, and green, which are the colors of the Pan-African flag. But so I've dyed a red, a green, I bought a black, and these are all the Deborah Norville sock. So I dyed a red, I dyed a green, and I bought the black. And then for the heels, toes, and cuffs, I have dyed a red, black, and green hank. Fingers crossed it comes out the way that I want it to. It's looking good right now on the stove, so I'm really excited about it. My plan is to do stripy socks. So there's going to be a bazillion ends to weave in, which I will have to weave in because it won't just be the one at the top and the one at the bottom or what have you. The things I do, I tell you. So that's going to be just a regular vanilla sock with just the stripes and stuff. And then this one is going to be the socks on a plane. All right, my iPad overheated, so I had to take it inside and let it cool off. So this is where I was. I was talking about this yarn. This is going to be a pair of socks on a plane. So my first experience with cabling, wish me luck. But this is going to be for the festive sock along that's hosted by Amy of the Stranded podcast. Yay. While my iPad was cooling down, I actually took the yarn off the stove that had finished cooling and everything like that, so I have it to show you. And these are going to be the striped Kwanzaa socks. Okay, so we have the solids. Oh, that's not the solid. Over there. We have the red, which is here. I love this tone. This is like a perfect red. Love it. And then we have the green. And I like that it got a little, there's some lighter and darker spots in there. I tried to make sure that all the places I had tied off, I got the dye in there so I didn't have white spots. I did well on this, but I do have a white spot on my red, which I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. Can you see that? Yeah. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. But the red, black, and green yarn is, I just love it. Yay! It's my Kwanzaa socks! So this is gonna be the heels, toes, and cuffs. And then I am going to stripe the red. And then I bought a black, so I have a black, solid black. And then I will stripe green. So we'll have red, black, and green stripes. I'm super excited about this idea. Yeah. So those are drying. Those are drying. I have one more plan. It's another, okay, this is going to be my idea or my project for the September shawl along by, that's being hosted by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. I think that's what it is, the Cozy Cottage Crochet. I'll get it right one day. But she's hosting a September shawl along. And I think it's going until the end of October, so from September 1st to October 31st, and you just have to crochet a shawl. So I want to make a shawl out of these yarns. Okay? Now, these are all dog themed. So I want to make a shawl that has, okay, the idea that I have in my head is it's going to be a very basic shawl. Haven't come up with the shape yet, or what shape I want to have it have, or the color disbursement. This is a very skinny plan. It has not been fleshed out yet. But you know, we do a whole lot of flying by the seat of my pants here, so you're not surprised. I'm not surprised. Everybody's cool. But the only thing that I definitely want to have in it are paw prints, like puppy paw prints. So I found this pattern for a scarf called the Meandering Paw Prints. I think that's what it's called. I'll put the title at the bottom. But it has like eyelet details that look like paw prints. So I want to take that as a kind of inspiration point to make this shawl idea come to life. So these are the colorways I have. I have this. This is the Fiber Seed Sprout DK, and this is in the colorway Tucker. This There you go. So it's just kind of a tan, yellowish tan. This color was dyed after the shop dog of the Sip and Knit yarn shop that used to be down here in Central Florida. But they recently closed, so when I found out they were closing, I picked this up. So, and the dog was so cute, and he was like a little old man just chilling in the shop, and whenever I came in, I would pet him, and then he would come and sit under my chair like, I know you're the person who likes dogs. So he would just chill out under my chair. But yeah, so that is Tucker. And then the rest of the yarns are my dogs. So I have this, which is the Wool Jewel DK that I got from Caitlin of the Wool Jewel podcast in the Great Unravel 2017 prize. So this she dyed specifically for me. I sent her a picture of my dogs and asked her to pull inspiration from them, and she came up with this gorgeous color. I love it. So we've got those two so far. And then these are my hand dyed, and they are considerably less squishy because this is just Patton's Croy Superwash DK that I got from Michael's or Joann's. This one is Kiva, and this one is Tootie. So I have these colorways that are going to go together. Actually, they might end up going this way, or maybe even this way. Come on, fingers. There we go. Maybe something like that. But I definitely want to have the paw prints either maybe along the border or just scattered throughout. I'm not sure, but this is going to be my puppy love shawl, and I need to get on it because we're halfway through September, so I only have a month and a half to design it, make it, finish it, and enter it. So that is the only other project I have with a plan. My puppy love shawl. And I was playing around earlier, kind of looking at the meandering pattern, as well as like playing around by myself, and I came up with this. I think it only looks like a paw print because I say it looks like a paw print, so we'll see. We'll see. It looks like a paw print, right? Right? So yeah. So those are all of my alongs that I want to participate in, my works in progress, my upcoming projects, the plans I have. There was one other thing that I got in Stashquisitions that does not currently have a plan, and that is this. Now this baby came from, where's the card? Oh no, where's the card? Oh, it's attached to the yarn. This is from Birch Hollow Fibers, and it is the colorway Oceania. I want to say Oceana, but there's an I in there. That's kind of throwing me off. I can't read. I can't read it. So there it is. Oceania. But this is the color. I'll see, and even the light helps that one. So this lovely one. I saw it, she posted a picture of this on Instagram, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And then I don't know if it was a post on Instagram that she had that mentioned she was having a sale or something like that, but somehow I found out she was having a sale, and I was like, it's for me. So I ran and I bought it, and it came in like 2 days before the hurricane. I was so scared that it was gonna get like, I don't know, I don't know what happens to mail in the middle of a hurricane. Like, does it get sent back? I don't know. I was scared it was gonna get lost, but it made it to me. I'm super excited. This is a 75/25 superwash merino nylon, 100 grams. But oh, it's so pretty. Now, one thing that I have noticed when I was looking at my box of socks, as well as when I went to Four Pearls, the yarn shop, where I got the Christmas yarn and the Cordell yarn, I have a lot of dark color socks. So I'm gonna make it my business to get brighter colors for my socks, because I love like crazy color socks and stuff. And if you look at my box of socks, they're all kind of like toned down. So I need to get some like Dayglow pink, some like neon green, like more things like this, you know. But this, I know it's darker, but I don't really care because it's gorgeous. And I love these colors. I love these watery colors. Like, I think water is my element. Like, if I was an avatar or like a bender, I think I'd be a water bender. Yeah. Or like if I was a planeteer from Captain Planet, definitely water. Yeah. Or maybe earth. No water. Nah, definitely water. Because like when I get stressed out, I feel at most like peaceful when I'm by the water. I'm a water bender, guys. But yeah, so that is my last stash position. Da, 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 da. And that's it, guys. That is it for the content part of the show. So what we are going to do now is the giveaway. Yay! This may actually be the craziest thing that has ever happened to me with nature. What is happening? I don't have any. Oh, he's gonna touch me. Oh, he's gonna touch me. Yeah. Okay. The ducks are sitting right next to me. Say hi, ducks. Back to business. So this is the large Quirky Monday bag, and in it you will get, this is not for you. This is a go away. Go away. Want that? Here. But this is a solid hand lotion from the Florida Soap Company. It is in the scent Angel. You will also get a stitch marker, which I'm not going to put up to the camera because I'm pretty sure the duck is going to try to eat it. Oh my gosh! Go away! Back up. And you also get your choice of a ball of yarn. When I first announced the giveaway, I had this color, which is like a gray-brown colorway. But after I announced it, I went to the store and I found this one, which actually matches the bag. So since I had shown both, I will let the winner choose. You just let me know if you want the gray or the pink. So, and you'll get one of those inside your bag. So we're going to do the giveaway portion now. I hosted the giveaway thread on my Ravelry group, which you can find by searching Quirky Monday Craftcast on Ravelry. The prompt was to share 3 positive things or 3 favorite things that happened to you in the past year. And we had 19 entries. So I did a random number generator from 2 to 19. And the winner is number 4. So let's see who that was. Number 4 was Shanani. I hope I said that right. It's Chanel from Seattle, Washington. So Shanani, send me a message on Ravelry and give me your address and I'll get this shipped out to you. Also let me know if you want the pink or the gray. That is the giveaway. So thank you so much to everyone who entered. Thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you for sharing your time with me and for coming back whenever I do podcast. My goal for this year, and I think I said it last episode, but my goal for this year is to be more consistent with my uploading, because I was trying to do every 2 weeks, and then that just kind of went all kinds of wibbly wobbly ways. So I'm going to try to be more consistent. I'm going to try to bring you guys different crafts outside of the yarn. But I mean, that's currently my love right now. So thank you so much for spending time with me. You guys have a wonderful day, night, weekend, whatever it is when you watch this. Share some positivity down below. What has happened to you recently that made you smile? Thanks for being a part of my life. Peace.